Welcome back. Having established a foundational understanding of Kubernetes, let's examine the key components that constitute a Kubernetes cluster. We'll dissect the architecture, revealing how the orchestration process unfolds. Control plane, the brain trust of your cluster. A Kubernetes cluster is composed of a control plane and one or more worker nodes. The control plane acts as the brain of your Kubernetes cluster, overseeing its overall state and making critical decisions about where to run your applications. It's analogous to a conductor leading an orchestra, guaranteeing that each instrument plays in perfect synchronicity. Key players in the control plane. Kube-apiserver. This serves as the primary access point to your cluster, exposing the Kubernetes HTTP API. All interactions with the cluster, whether by you or other components, are conducted through this API. It functions as the central communication hub for all Kubernetes operations. etcd. This component is a highly available and dependable key-value store that houses all the cluster's data. This encompasses information about your deployments, services, and the overall state of the cluster. Consider it the single, authoritative source of truth for all things Kubernetes. Kube-scheduler. This component is continuously on the lookout for pods that haven't been assigned to a node. It evaluates the resource requirements of each pod and allocates it to the most appropriate node based on factors like available resources, example, CPU and memory, and other constraints. Kube-controller-manager. This component operates a suite of controllers whose purpose is to ensure that the actual state of the cluster aligns with the desired state you've defined. For instance, it ensures that the correct number of pod replicas are running and manages deployments and other resources. Cloud Controller Manager. Optional, this component allows Kubernetes to seamlessly integrate with your cloud provider. It handles tasks that are specific to the cloud environment, such as interacting with storage services or load balancers. Node components. The node components are the workhorses of a Kubernetes cluster, relentlessly ensuring that your applications operate smoothly. They reside on each worker node. Essential node components. Kubelet. Think of the kubelet as an agent stationed on each node, guaranteeing that the containers within a pod are running as they should. It receives instructions from the control plane and collaborates with the container runtime to initiate, terminate, and manage containers. Kube proxy. This component works diligently behind the scenes to administer network rules on the node. Its role is to ensure that traffic is routed to the correct pods and services within the cluster, facilitating seamless communication between your applications. Container runtime. This is the software responsible for the execution of containers. Docker, Containered, and CRI-O are a few prominent examples. It furnishes the environment and tools necessary to manage the life cycle of containers. That's it for this chapter. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. Thank you.